Hi, it's Chris with Implied Music. This morning I'm Googling what's the song of the summer, as you do. And that Harry Styles song, As It Was, is at the top of a lot of people's lists. Understandably, great pop song. As I listened to it, I realized the melody and the chord progression are engaged in a great kind of push-pull of sort of modal mixture. You wouldn't think of that as being part of a pop song idea, but we can leverage it in our own music. Let's talk about what I mean. So when I analyze a song, I like to drop it into capo. It's a great tool for slowing down or changing key of any tune. And what I've done here is drop the Styles tune down a step and slowed it down a little bit. And I'm just to listen to it and work on it. I'm actually not going to play it for you because, copyright. But the tune begins here with that little famous catchy melody, right? Which kind of gets us going. It really is bar one, no instruments, and then the instruments drop in on the A minor. Again, I've transposed it down a step. He does it in what key is it in? This is a question. He does it up a step. D, G, and then right from the G chord, it's great. Capo will actually play chords when you click on them. Right here at bar 11, the vocal drops in. And the first chord it looks like a C chord. So now we have a chord progression, and we're just going to look at right here. C, A minor, D7, G. Those four chords are from the G system, right? I mean, they just are. That's the key of G, right? And yet the melody starts on a B, and then it goes to another B, and then the D has the F sharp in it, and the melody stays on the F sharp for the G chord. In other words, the melody lives on major sevenths and ninths. And it does this great trick, essentially being a modal melody, a step away from the sort of key center of the chord progression. Well, I thought to myself, two can play that game. And I wrote a little modal melody. Here's a little modal melody in, I guess it sounds like D Dorian to me. Listen to it. You're going to get sick of this melody because we're going to try it with a bunch of chord changes. That's the kind of melody that like Adele would sing, right? It's essentially kind of a bluesy melody. So moving on, here's a chord progression, a pop chord progression in the key of C. It's the Royal Road progression. And I asked myself, I wonder how many of the conventional pop chord progressions from a major key would work with this. And it turns out every one of them. Now, what's interesting is that essentially Dorian melody is very stable. Our ear accepts it nicely. And the net result, when you add the chords and the melody together, are some interesting tensions. The first chord is F, and yet the melodic center is D. In other words, the sixth of the F chord is getting our attention. Down here, this A minor chord is settled with a melodic tone that's a G, A minor 7. There are a number of instances of that as you go through it. I thought to myself, what other chord progressions would work? So here's the chord progression, and this should be fairly familiar. F, C, G, A minor. In other words, it's the axis chords beginning on the 4 chord. Okay, will that work? Well, the 4 chord we know is going to start with the D being the 6th, and then when it goes to the C chord, the D is the 9th. When it goes to the G chord, the E and the C, they're pretty tense against it, but the D is great in the middle. And then when it goes to the A minor chord, there's an A. And then here again, the melody goes to a G on the A minor chord. Well, this one works too. I actually love the sound of this one. It doesn't seem like it would work, but it works every time. The modal melody centered around the second step of the scale, giving a kind of a Dorian melody feel, kind of a bluesy sound, while the pop chord progression from the key a step below cycles underneath it. Here the chord progression is A minor, F, C, G. Axis chords beginning on 6, in other words. Let's listen to this. Again, the melody notes create tensions, ninths, sevenths, 11ths, that give the chords a little more juice. This is Harry Styles' trick in a nutshell. You may use it yourself. It is free to all. All right, here's another chord progression. And I just said, let's go ahead and try the full axis chords. 1, 5, 6, 4. Okay, so the D is the ninth on the 1 chord. Piece of cake, right? The D is the 11th on the 6 chord. Let's hear how it sounds. It's fine with me. Okay, 1, 6, 2, 5. Kind of an old-fashioned chord progression. Works great. I feel like I've discovered some hidden secret. What's this one? 1, 3, 4, 5. 3 is beautiful. 4, 5. The A against the G. Oh my God. I didn't change the melody one iota. I just copied it and pasted it. I pulled chord progressions kind of just out of the air that are, I would just consider them standard pop chord progressions, right? Versions of the axis chord, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, the Royal Road progression. They all just use diatonic chords. The modal melody sits around the D, and yet the chord progression sits around the C. Smoke and mirrors. But what you get is beautiful sounding chords that are enlivened by essentially extensions. The melody exists centered in a slightly different place than the chord progression. You hear the harmony is centered in one place. The melody creates extensions. Gee, I hope this has been useful. Like and subscribe and ding that bell. You'll be notified when I do my videos, but I can notify you this right now. I'm trying to do videos every day. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.